yogis, this is my 5-minute essential post-run stretch. Post-walk, post-run, post-bike. This works for all of them. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to hang and start to open up the backs of the hamstrings. We're just going to hang. You're going to soften your knees as much as you want. And I like to interlace my hands and my elbows to give yourself sort of a weight and a pendulum effect to swing gently back and forth as you rock side to side. Start to feel those hamstrings opening up. And then you can drop your hands to the floor and come into a down dog. Here we're going to hit our Achilles and our calves as we pedal it out. And you can just kind of move around in your down dog. It's how you like. And then drop to all fours and let's stretch out the low back. So pull your tailbone to your heels and walk your hands out as far as you like. Beautiful. And then we're going to get back on our all fours, press back into down dog, and bring that right foot between our hands. So we got a lot of the back of the body just now. So now we're going to hit sort of the front. Here we got the hip flexor on the left side. Our right foot is forward, left leg is back, and we're just going to gently open up to the hip flexor. And then we're going to drop our hands to the floor and peel back that right foot, getting the back of the leg again. Now in this pose, it's really easy to kind of start to switch this way. I want you to keep dialing back this right hip, keeping those hips nice and square, and just gently flexing the front of the foot to get a little bit deeper in the Achilles and the calves, and then forward again. So you can alternate through this as many times as you like, but it's this back and forth between the half splits and the low lunge, which is going to really open up the fronts and backs of your legs so nicely. Really try to stay lifted out of the torso. We don't want to sink into the lower back and like collapse the spine. So keep everything nice and high, chest open, and back and forth here as many times as you like. And then we're going to switch sides. Left leg comes forward. Nice low lunge, opening up through the hip flexors here. Breathing deep. And then stretching back, flexing that foot. And going back and forth on the low lunge and the half splits as many times as you like. All right, perfect. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to switch over into a side lunge here. And we're just going to walk back and forth. Sometimes for me, this is the most challenging one, getting into this. But as I start to just do it, and the groin, inner thighs, everything starts to open up. It starts to get easier and easier and feel a lot better. You can stop here. This is pretty much a nice, thorough stretch here. We've done the fronts and backs of the legs, the inner thighs. But of course, it's always nice to get those hips, because whether you're walking, riding, or biking, or running or biking, those hips really get it. So then we're going to spin around and we're going to get into a pigeon pose, which again can be very challenging, but so important. It's such a big joint. It really demands our attention. But I'm not going to lie, it does take some discipline to hit this one. So we are going to hit that pigeon on both sides. And you don't have to do it for a long time, but you do have to open up those hips. And those would be your essentials. We've got the fronts of the legs, the backs of the legs, the hips, stretching out through the low back, the Achilles, the calves. And your down dog. And ending with a nice child's pose or spinal twist. It's always a good idea. So let's just do one more thing, which is going to be a reach up with the left and thread it through. So a nice spinal twist on both sides. Also a shoulder opener. And switch sides. Reach the right hand up and thread it through. And that's your 5 minutes. Not a lot of time to spend, but when you do this consistently after your cardio, you will really notice a difference over the weeks, months, and years. Trust me. Bye.